I have a question. I have a more personal question. You can say anything's off limits if you want. We were talking before we started a little bit about your growing up. You mentioned after you quit government, you went and traveled the world. So you've obviously kind of been all over. Like, what are some of your favorite places you've been to? Give me the rankings.
Totally sideways. Okay, so in my opinion, so for background, I've ridden motorcycles and other such contraptions frequently by myself across significant portions of every continent except for Antarctica.
Wow.
Whoa.
I don't know, 30, 40 countries plus like real, not just flying
That's
into a
awesome.
city, but like camping in the side of the road and things like that. My absolute favorite place though in the entire world that I think is really underrated in the US because it's on the opposite side of the world is Nepal. And it's one of those things where you need to go for more than 2 weeks. You got to have at least a 3-week thing, especially to do some of these treks through the Himalayas. But the people there are just, especially outside of the capital city where it's more calm, they're just incredible. They're so thoughtful. The terrain, you guys are, you live in Utah, right? Beautiful,
Love it.
beautiful terrain. You go to the Himalayas and you can walk up on a mountainside and look out and you see all these mountain peaks below you for miles. And they're all taller than anything in Utah, right? Like you can literally just watch all these 16,000 foot high mountains just stretch out to the horizon. It
So
is
cool.
insane. So Nepal.
Nepal's
Nepal
number
wins.
one.
Yeah.
I love it.
You don't even have to ride a motorcycle to have fun there too. You can walk.
You can walk. Motorcycle sounds awesome.
That does sound awesome.
That's
Motorcycle
awesome.
camping is how you did it?
Yeah. Yeah. In Nepal I was walking. But over the rest of most of the world, motorcycles, camping, just gets dark, find a place, put up a tent, go to sleep, wake
Yeah.
up, keep going.
So how does somebody who manages risk for a living then be like, yeah, I can camp on the side of the road all over the world by myself? There's no...
Yeah, I think there's this correlation there. So I put on my LinkedIn and on my resume these trips because I take breaks every few years. I quit and I'm like, I'm going to spend 6 or 8 months doing all this stuff. Instead of having a gap on my resume, I put all the crazy stuff that I did because I think it shows. Who do you want in a high tense situation in a boardroom or at a conference table? Do you want somebody that has spent their whole life honing their skills at business? Yes, of course, you want that. But also, you want the guy whose motorcycle broke down on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere, halfway off a cliff, who had to like establish a bunch of ratchet straps to pull himself up, and then
Right.
camp overnight with injuries to recover, and then push the thing down the mountain next day to find civilization to eventually get help. Right? Like, you want somebody that has both of those skills. I know what
I
it's
love
like
that.
to just
That was very
deal with life.
specific.
That has happened to me more than once. I have driven off cliffs more than
Oh
once.
my gosh. That's great.
That's amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
What a cool thing, too. I do think it's talking travel in general, anytime... I feel like the longer you can go somewhere, the more you'll fall in love with it, regardless of where it is, because you see more than just like, oh, you're here for 3 days, here's the tourist places you got to hit while you're in town, and you get to slow down and be with the people and experience the place. It's pretty special.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. Like, the difference between having a conversation with someone at a coffee shop in a major city versus having a conversation with someone at a farm because you ran out of gas and are trying to borrow gas from, buy gas from them. It's a totally different experience.
Yeah.
And you should have both. You should have both.
I love it. That's
Crazy
so cool.
stories. Oh man, that sounds awesome. Yeah, if you break down in the savannah, you got to fix the car, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Or get eaten by a lion.
Or get
Your
eaten by a
options are
lion.
few.
Yeah.
Your options are few.
I love
So
it.
you have actually kind of a high tolerance for risk in some ways. Yeah.
I think a lot of people would say I might have an excessive tolerance
For risk.
for risk.
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is
same.
scary. But there's personal risk is different from organizational risk. It's different from societal risk. But generally, I take the approach, especially when it comes to cybersecurity, just to be blunt. Things will get popped. Things get hacked. There are mistakes that are made. That happens all the time. If you
Right.
try to prevent all of that, you are wrong. You're just making the wrong decision. You need to prepare yourself to respond, set things up so that you can respond well, quickly, and effectively, and let stuff get popped. Just deal with it. Right?
Yeah.
Like, take appropriate precautions, but the idea that you want a computer to be safe, then you gotta just ship it into the sun. You know, that's the only way it's ever going to be safe.